Introducing his opponent from Phoenix, Arizona, weighing in 261 pounds, he is the West Coast Pro Wrestling Champion, Hammerstone!
Hammerstone back to defend his West Coast Pro title. We saw him in the inaugural episode of Primetime Live, put the title on the line against a very game and very tough E.J. Sparks, three-time Arizona State champion. But Hammerstone certainly was dominant on that night.
E.J. Sparks is a tough guy, but Hammerstone was just too much for him. He is a big dude, and you do not want that guy getting his hands on you.
Tresario just staring daggers through the West Coast Pro champion.
West Coast Pro Wrestling, another one of my home promotions up in Northern California, and Hammerstone, he is just such a physical specimen to behold.
And you hear that snapping of Tresario. It helps him kind of keep pace. It's a bit of a tick, but it's also, I mean, this guy is kind of a twitching time bomb, as my former broadcast colleague Johnny LaQuasto used to call him when he was on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Certainly a bit unhinged, but very dangerous, drops levels, and keeping a beat.
An odd duck, at the very least.
He needs to be careful he doesn't make Hammerstone angry. Hammerstone's a big guy, man, and if he wants to break Tresario in half, all he needs to do is pick him up and snap him like a twig.
I think it's fair to say that those are words to live by if you're in there with Hammerstone. Don't make him angry.
No doubt about it. I certainly wouldn't want to be in Tresario's position with Hammerstone whipping me around in the ring, but nice athleticism.
Boy, I think he is flirting with disaster here, Blake.
You know, he doesn't seem like he has it all there, though, upstairs. So I'm not surprised to see him making some mistakes that I wouldn't be in there making. I would not be making that big man angry. I'd just be taking the battle to him.
Tresario calls himself the Red Snapper. I think Hammerstone the ones that's going to be bright red right now. And anger, look out here. Roll up, trying to get the big man off balance, get a quick win, and make history.
Tresario might have been coming out here to try and intentionally frustrate Hammerstone early on, so Hammerstone gets overly aggressive. Those are two quick pin attempts out of Tresario, all thanks to the anger that he... Wow.
Look at this, sends him up and over. Does Tresario, in your estimation, Blake, and he's looking good right now, what are the keys to victory for the challenger to overcome this incredible athlete in Hammerstone?
He needs to be able to escape after they have interactions. When they collide, he needs to be able to get away, because if they interact and Hammerstone's able to get a hold of him, there's a very high likelihood that he's going to be getting some frequent flyer miles on Hammerstone Airlines.
Hammerstone got a hold of that goatee. Referee in the mix now as well, and I think playtime might be over for the West Coast Pro Wrestling champion. Having a little fun, stealing a little page out of the playbook. Imitation, the sincerest form of flattery, I'm not sure, but I don't think this slam attempt gonna pay dividends for Tresario. Reverse the other way, Tresario out the back door. Tresario has been elusive, if nothing else, so far, guys. And there he uses that slam, and then the momentum into the elbow drop. Look at the challenger go. Whoa, into a splash, hit the knees as well. I don't know, I've never seen that.
I think Tresario, like Blake was saying, is trying to sort of goad Hammerstone into making a mistake to try and end this early.
And he does a fantastic job of setting up several attacks and combining them together. He just cannot stick around and stay within grabbing distance of Hammerstone when he's done doing these chain wrestling combinations.
Big spine buster there, yeah, go ahead.
Otherwise, he's just going to get picked up and slammed like that. This is why it's so important for him to create distance once he's engaged with Hammerstone and then pull back out before he takes another big slam like that.
Here's what's coming up for Memphis Wrestling. Join us live tomorrow, July 11th, for our next live TV taping featuring AEW star the Murder Hawk Lance Archer. Also, don't miss Killer Bay Heather Monroe, CeCe Chanel, and the stars of Memphis Wrestling. Plus, a major announcement will be made to the live audience. Limited tickets and VIP experience are available right now at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com. Then, Saturday, July 17th at 2 p.m., it's Throwdown in Orange Mound featuring free Memphis Wrestling at Orange Mound Park. Sunday, July 18th, watch WWE Money in the Bank with us, absolutely free at Dave & Buster's in Memphis. Plus, you'll get a free game card. Tickets Tickets for our July 25th taping are also on sale. Get everything you need at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
On Sunday, July 11th, everybody dies. Lance Archer is coming to Memphis Wrestling. Get your VIP experience tickets now at ChampionshipWrestlingMemphis.com.
You like the action you're seeing? Use hashtag PrimetimeLive. People on the fight chat excited to see Hammerstone back in the United Wrestling Network ring. It's been such a breakneck pace here so fast, guys, throughout all the surprises. We haven't even really made mention, where in the hell did the Cowboy James Storm come from? Just walks in from backstage and now basically puts himself in this matchup. We knew it was going to be Masters later on, taking on Fred Rosser, and now a huge high-profile triple threat still to come with James Storm involved as well. That's why you got to join us live.
That's why you got to join us live. I thought it was a closed set. Apparently, it's not only that, but we have an open bar as well with that beer that he had. And, you know, Hammerstone has been a fighting champion with that West Coast Pro title. Again, you know, one of my home promotions, Championship Wrestling, presented by West Coast Pro Wrestling, you can catch on ABC7 in the Bay Area.
So watching the action here, Hammerstone's doing a lot of damage to Tresario, but he's not even going for pins. Pissing off Hammerstone early in this matchup might have been a really big mistake for Tresario, because now he's got this big guy angry and trying to hurt him. Not just win, but hurt him.
I'm with you, Blake. I think Hammerstone is having fun just punishing Tresario at this point and enjoying every bit of this. And now he's got that double overhook, really putting the pressure on, sends him in for another big forearm shot. As we say week after week, it's the shots that you don't see coming, especially if they're coming from Meat Mountain.
Yeah, you know, he calls himself the Red Snapper, but he's in there. He's about to get snapped in the half by Hammerstone. Those big shots in the back, he cannot continue to take very many more of those.
The pressure being put on here, you just don't want to be in the grasp of Hammerstone.
It was a bold strategy by Tresario to try and anger Hammerstone, and you see how it's paying off for him. Not very much right now.
He's taking some big kidney shots. Tresario's probably going to be having some blood in his urine after this matchup here this evening.
There you go. He's one of the best color analysts in the business. Just painting a picture here. Bulletproof truth. But yeah, certainly not sugarcoating it. Now another big clubbing shot by Hammerstone, who is just having his way. It's predator and prey right now. But the balance by Tresario creates distance. That's his best friend. An ally right now is that distance, trying to get something going. Is the challenger. Flies at him for the crossbody. Got caught like a baby. And might get put down for the 3-second nap. Almost broken in half with that backbreaker. Yikes.
Hammerstone intercepted him, just plucked him right out of the air and comes crashing down. But Tresario refusing to flip over there. That might be saving him here. Cover 2. Tresario able to get out of it.
So Tresario's taking a lot of damage to his kidneys, and what that's going to do is it's going to start shutting his body down. Like I said, Hammerstone's not even really trying to win anymore. He's just trying to hurt this guy. He went for a pin, but this is just pain right now.
Second to go with that backbreaker. I think the only thing snapping from Tresario was his ribs and his vertebrae. But look at this, trying to get back to a vertical base into a desperation jawbreaker, and the big man rocking and reeling a little bit. That had an effect. Can Tresario capitalize? That's the question. No, sir, not yet. Big drop kick by the big man.
Tried to buy himself a little bit of time there with that jawbreaker, and it got him just enough to get away. But he didn't see Hammerstone getting ready to smash him down as he bounced back off the ropes.
Hammerstone just taunting Tresario now with those claps. Nonplussed, I think, by the antics of the Red Snapper earlier on in this matchup, but it's no more fun and games for him.
Pulling that tape off. Saw that in the match with EJ Sparks as well. It's almost symbolic of throwing down the gauntlet. Things are going to get real serious, real fast, and Hammerstone can take something simple like an Irish whip and make it devastating. Case in point.
No doubt about it. He is a colossus in there that is just ravaging Tresario.
One thing about being that big is you don't always have to be necessarily that technical. Sometimes your size and your strength is just too overwhelming, even for an extremely technical grappler like Tresario.
Oh my goodness.
Hear that one in the Bay.
Again, tempting fate, yes, is Tresario, guys. Trying to get under the skin literally there a Hammerstone. We'll see if it pays off. I'll tell you what, if nothing else, Tresario's gonna go out on his sword. He will not, he is no yield, no CeCe. He just keeps fighting.
I really respect that, because the way that he came out, he was asking for a fight. And Hammerstone's been giving it to him, but he has not backed down despite the damage he's been taking.
Ooh, look at this, nice agility by Tresario, using his surroundings there and pulling the champion into the turnbuckle springboard. Where's he getting this from? Missile dropkick, that would take most people off their feet. Not the big man, not the champ.
Hammerstone having the presence of mind to find that corner, to stay on his vertical base. You know, Blake, if you're Tresario, how do you find a weakness in Hammerstone?
You know, I think it's not necessarily about finding the weakness. I think it's about avoiding his strengths. And I think Tresario's going to be able to do that by continuing to use his movement, not allowing himself to become attached to Hammerstone, continuing these strikes and creating distance after he lands them.
Series of strikes, the step up Inzaguri, the drop kick, and Tresario starts to close in perhaps on the West Coast Pro Championship, which is on the line in this matchup. Up top again, moonsault press. He's got the champ in the center of the ring. Tresario finds a way, no.
Wow, I thought that might have been enough to put the big man down.
Incredible action. Tresario just did enough to hang in there, and perhaps the champion got a little overconfident.
He's doing more than hanging in there now. He's making forward progress. This is very impressive from the Red Snapper, and he is still pushing forward, pushing through that pain.
Heart is something that you can't teach. You can teach a guy, wow.
Look out here, big German suplex. Well, you can't teach it, but he better have a lot of heart if he's gonna survive this onslaught by the champion. Series of suplex, oh, turns it in almost. Hold on, is that gonna do it? Yes, just enough.
Here is your winner, and still West Coast Pro Wrestling Champion, Hammerstone.
I think Hammerstone might have been thinking Nightmare Pendulum. Trying to counter was Tresario, but Hammerstone, in essence, turned it into a jackhammer. And again, when you're as big and strong as Hammerstone, it doesn't always have to be pretty, Blake. It can be just as effective, just the same.